give a quick update on some of the learn to burns we've been doing in Alabama in 2021. We were able to get out and still hold some, even though we started out at the beginning with still having to maintain social distancing and protocols required by some of our agencies and groups that we work with. But we started off in February and held 3 different learn to burns, Baldwin, Coosa, and Bullitt counties. You can see the amount of attendees we had there. Moved to Mobile and Fayette counties, and then, bless you, and then wrapped up in April over in Walker, and then one in the Escambia counties. So we had real good turnout with learn to burns. All of them went extremely well. I don't know of any that we had issues at. But during those learn to burns, we had evaluations afterwards. And during those evaluations, we're going to try something a little different. We're going to evaluate immediately following the event, and we're going to follow up at the end of 2021. So in December, I'll send out evaluations to this group of folks who responded to the first set of evaluations. And then we'll try to do the same at the end of next year, just to see if we can get that change of behavior we're looking for. And you'll see in a minute that, hey, they answered yes, we're planning on changing our behavior. But as you all know, that when we do forest management or prescribed fire, it's not just, hey, learn something new, let's go do it tomorrow. It usually takes a little bit of time to get to that right season that the burners are comfortable with. But if you look at the breakdown of attendees, we had more private landowners than anybody. We had some agency and NGO folks, and then consultants and loggers made up a group that was there trying to improve their prescribed fire and also pick up some continuing ed hours. So the question before the learn to burn, which one of these did you do? And so you could see, and this is all by percentage, not a number of people, but 30% of folks managed to prescribe burn on their own land. Just under 5% used friends and neighbors to manage a burn on their land. Some used private contractors. State agency burned about 10% of the land, or 10% of the landowners had the AFC burn. But you're looking about 37% of landowners had never conducted a prescribed burn. So after the burn, we asked them the same questions. So the light blues before the burn, dark blues after the burn. And so you can see that we had a big swing in the amount of people that felt like they will manage a burn on their property going forward. So being able to utilize this resource of learn to burns, where people that can get out there, put a drip torch in their hand and gain experience working with professionals, really empowered a chunk of those attendees to be willing to do a burn on their own. So that's very encouraging to see. We had an increase in the use of friends and neighbors to burn their land, decrease in consultants, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. More people said they were willing to use AFC to do their burn, but I think we had it was 4%, 3% said they're still not willing to do a prescribed burn on their land. So it's one of those, you can't save everybody, but we made a good swing on that. So asking those people, what was the reason you want to burn your land, or that you are burning your land? Remember, this is not number of answers, this is percentage. And so you have improved wildlife habitat, reduced fuel load, and improved forest health. All those are the top answers. More people answer those than the rest of them. So still have a couple folks burning for forage, which is a good thing. And oddly enough, we're seeing a lot more people interested in running silvopasture now than I have in the last decade or a little over. So we'll see where that goes. Ownership size, percentage of folks. I'm assuming a lot of these 5,000 or more acres are land managers, but we had numerous large landowners there. But you can see when you start looking at the size breakdown, we have a good chunk of people under 100 acres, but also that 100 to 500 acres. So where I'm encouraged about these numbers moving is that for the landowners that own 100 acres or less, because oftentimes those are the hard ones that those landowners have a hard time getting consultants out to do their burning. So if we can get them to work with each other and start burning on their own, we can get more land burned. This is one of the groups. This was the Baldwin County Learn to Burn, the first one of the year we did, where we're still social distancing and wearing face coverings. The great thing on some of those sites, this was the Bullitt County Learn to Burn. We were able to get folks doing some burning in the short leaf oak systems up there, teaching them how to mitigate the fire intensity around some desirable oaks. Got to spend some time burning in Kogon grass because we have a little bit of it. This was one of the snags, and after this round of Learn to Burns, we're making sure that we have a chainsaw on site for any snags that are we have issues from. We didn't have a chainsaw that day, and this one had to be babysat until dark. So it's one of those that we always learn best practices anytime we're doing these Learn to Burns, and we need to remember to bring a chainsaw with us next time. And forgive me for not hitting all of our sponsors, but this round of Learn to Burns, we had a good outreach from AFC, the Gulf Coast RC&D helped sponsor some of them. Alabama Forestry Foundation and AFA really stepped up, and as always, Stivers and Seahoy, they really helped us do the big ones and over at Bullitt County. And so with that, it's just a quick rundown of some of the Learn to Burns we're doing. If you guys are interested in them, don't hesitate to reach out. We can look at, we're planning for 2021 as right now, and probably we'll do 1 or 2 this fall. So if you're interested in them, please reach out to myself or Tyler, and we'll see what we can get done.